Did you know the City of Santa Barbara manages 235 miles of city roadways? In our first story, Kayla Weber reveals the efforts behind improving our streets.
It's hard to think of a daily activity that doesn't involve a city street. From driving our cars to the grocery store, riding our bikes for pleasure, to taking public transportation to work and crossing our streets to school. So maintaining our roads will always be a top priority. In Santa Barbara, the Pavement Maintenance Program works to preserve our local roadways.
Our street system is one of the largest infrastructure systems that the city manages and operates. And the street system, as you probably know, has been built up over years and years and years. So the pavement management system is really geared to try and assess and project what the condition of the road is both today and its rate of deterioration so that we can plan for improvements to maintain the quality of the roads.
The City of Santa Barbara maintains 235 miles of roadways. The majority of our roads are made up of asphalt pavement, which deteriorates over time due to exposure to UV rays, rain, and general wear and tear.
We have a small percentage of concrete streets, but primarily it's asphalt concrete pavement, which is considered a flexible pavement. However, asphalt pavement deteriorates over time and gets brittle and oxidizes and gets harder and is susceptible to more cracking. And so the longer that the pavement is untreated, the more brittle and the more maintenance that it would require.
The street really has this underlying base that carries the weight and is really the support foundation for the road. And then the paved surface that is visible is protecting that base. And once the support for that base fails, that's when the road fails completely.
To address road deterioration, the city has developed a zone system to schedule yearly capital road projects in a methodical and cost-effective manner.
There are 6 pavement maintenance zones in the city, and so the idea is to do a pavement maintenance zone a year and to come back every 6 years into pavement maintenance zones.
Not only does the zone system offer an organized strategy to perform road improvements, it also gives the public an idea when street projects near them will be taking place.
We try to communicate effectively with the property owners who are also impacted. There's construction going on in their front yard. And so we ask for their tolerance while that's going on by explaining this is what the purpose is and what our expectation is in terms of continuing good quality roadway that you really want to be able to have.
Every other year, the city surveys 1/3 of all city streets and rates them according to their condition.
We look for indicators of what's happening with the pavement surface, whether we can identify cracking and potholes and other visible signs of deterioration. And we use that information along with our knowledge of how the road was constructed to give it a rating.
Based on the pavement ratings, along with the traffic volumes and available funds, Public Works staff selects the highest priority streets to receive treatment.
There was a time not too long ago, about a decade ago, where we were able to treat every road in a zone. With declining revenues and increased needs, we've had to prioritize where the money is being spent. And so the bulk of the money that is being spent now is on collector and arterial roads, which are the main roads within our city. It's important to keep those up as they are the major traffic routes for all modes of transportation, including buses and cyclists, as well as vehicular travel.
We know that the more that the community is able to have those roadways repaired in an ongoing, appropriate timeline, then the less degradation to the roads over time and the less costly that repair will be. So our passengers and our drivers are relying on a comfortable, smooth ride with a safe landing.
There are a number of treatments used to improve our streets. One of the easiest and least expensive methods is using a crack seal treatment, which prevents water from intruding into the base and accelerating deterioration. Slurry seal is one of the most used treatments because it is a cost-effective way to give the road a fresh surface coating. More expensive treatments involve repair and rehabilitation, including grind and overlay, where asphalt is completely removed from the street and then replaced with new asphalt.
Once you reach the point where deterioration of the roadway has really hit a very poor or failed condition, you have to rebuild the road. And that's 10 times often more expensive than the earlier slurry seal cost we were talking about.
The cost of pavement maintenance adds up quickly. Treatments range anywhere from 50 cents to $10 per square foot and is funded through several different revenue streams.
We have gas tax monies that come from the state. We have what's called Measure A monies that come from the sales tax approved by the countywide voters a couple of years ago. And we also have some other special funds that feed into and are restricted for use with the street system as well.
Recently, limited funding has made it difficult to keep up with all the necessary road repairs, causing our overall pavement condition index, or PCI, to fall to an at-risk level. The city estimates $6.7 million a year is necessary to maintain all of our local roads at the current PCI of 63. For the past 5 years, only $2.3 million has been budgeted.
Pavement materials have increased significantly over the last 5 to 7 years with increased oil prices, and so it has been challenging to keep up with the increased costs. Also, pavements have been deteriorating at a faster rate than the funding sources have been provided, and so the combination of the two factors means that we are losing ground on our pavement conditions.
Santa Barbara isn't the only area whose streets are feeling the negative effects of budget constraints. In fact, the condition of California's streets as a whole has declined steadily since 2008.
The money is coming in to maintain our road surface and condition of our streets is only a third of what's necessary. So over the state, there's an $82 billion shortfall over the next 10 years.
In California, gas tax is the largest funding source for road maintenance, but it is also a declining revenue source due to more fuel-efficient vehicles and the declining economy. And since gas taxes are not indexed for inflation, the buying power of the tax revenues has been on the decline for decades.
People are aware that when you pay at the pump, part of that is actually a flat fee. That's a gas tax. So unlike sales tax, that doesn't increase when gas prices increase. That's a lump sum. Back in the day, say 15, 20 years ago, that was a third of what you would pay for a tank, whereas now it's much more like a tenth.
So it's a pay now or pay later scenario where if we don't put an appropriate amount of investment into our road structure now, then the roads will further deteriorate, causing more costly methods of repair or rehabilitation.
In addition to the large capital treatment projects, the city also relies on street maintenance crews to manage more regular road repairs.
Once you get a pothole, you'll always have a pothole until you're able to really go in and essentially reconstruct that area of roadway. So it becomes an ongoing work responsibility for street maintenance crews to go in and do pothole repair.
Keeping up with regular street maintenance, like pothole repair, is important for all modes of transportation.
It's funny because bicycles make the least impact possible on the road condition, but cyclists are also perhaps the most vulnerable to bad roadway conditions.
Without well-maintained roads, our shocks on our buses are in need of constant repair, the comfort level of the passenger, but in particular the repair cost to the vehicles. And so we also thank Public Works for taking good care of the roads, and we rely on that happening.
This year, the city is focusing on Zone 6, which includes the downtown area for pavement maintenance. To track upcoming pavement projects, visit santabarbaraca.gov/engineering.